Pursuant to this, PPRA has informed me that it will be announcing a new price band effective today, and that the new price for PMS will not be above 145 naira per litre. We expect that this new policy will lead to improved supply and competition, and eventually drive down pump prices, as we have experienced with diesel. In addition, this will also lead to increased product availability and encourage investments in refineries and other parts of the downstream sector.
This decision by the federal government shocked Nigerians to the marrow, and mixed reactions have trailed it, with the Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, already threatening to begin a protest if the government doesn't take it back. And that will be our focus on Channels Beam today. Welcome, I'm Victor Matthias. But before we begin the conversation, let's take a look at the online trending topics in the past week. British Prime Minister took Nigeria and Afghanistan to the cleaners as he described the countries as fantastically corrupt countries during an audience with Her Majesty, the Queen. The announcement that premium Motto Spirit, also known as petrol, will now be selling at 145 naira also sent Nigeria's social cyberspace into a frenzy. And that brings us to the discussion of today. Joining me is Caro Oroboni. Caro joins us from London. Thanks for coming on the program.
Thank you.
We also have Olumuyiwa Amao. He joins us from Pretoria, that's in South Africa. Thanks for coming on the program as well.
Well, good afternoon, Victor.
Well, now, what was your reaction? Muyiwa, let me start with you. What was your reaction when that big announcement was made?
It's been a long time coming. For me, I think it's a good step in the right direction. The question would be whether it came at the right time, and that's the bone of contention. I think what the presidency could or should have done would have been to not allow Nigerians suffer for 4 or 5 months searching for fuel. If this had been done like 4 or 5 months ago, as against the unfortunate scenario that Nigerians found themselves, I felt people wouldn't have felt so much pain. But for me, it's something that is inevitable in any case. It's happened. I have much more confidence now that this present government has the capacity to utilize whatever gains that is made from this total withdrawal of fuel subsidy to better the lives of Nigerians. Unfortunately, Nigerians have suffered far too long. I think that in the final analysis, this government, if it delivers on its promise, vis-a-vis the integrity threshold that it stands on, Nigerians have the potential of benefiting more immensely than if fuel subsidy had remained. But my major problem with this decision is that this could have come 4 or 5 months ago when this fuel scarcity thing began. If this had come, well, Nigerians wouldn't have gone through the ASUS or the harrowing experiences they went through when fuel became particularly scarce, when Nigerians bought fuel for as high as 250, 300 naira per litre. So we needed not to have gone that way. And I feel that that's a major undoing of this President Muhammadu Buhari administration. It's been particularly slow in making the right decisions. And it's beginning to think that it's got all the years in the world to remain in office. Things don't work that way in other civilized climes. A government has to be efficient.
What's going on now is just the reward. What Nigerians are going through now is the reward of years and years of wanton corruption and bad governance. It's been a long time coming. I think this is really painful for every Nigerian. There are lots of people who are still earning 18,000 naira, and from 18,000 naira, all of a sudden, petrol is now 145 naira. I think, yes, the government is left with no other option than to hike the price of petrol. But then it's a painful change. It's a painful change for Nigerians. It's a painful change for Nigerians because people thought that, okay, things will become better. But unfortunately, things will become even worse than it is now before they become better. And I think that hiking the price, yeah, the government has left with no other option than to hike the price. And because they've said that there is no money, there is no forex to import fuel into the country. And again, you then begin to ask that how can a country of Nigeria, Nigeria, who has crude oil, be importing refined crude into the country? And again, it comes back to the years and years of corruption and the refineries, bad governance. The refineries not being maintained and being destroyed up to the way it is now that we can't even refine fuel locally. So it's sad. It's sad. It's a painful thing for Nigerians. But I just pray that this whole hardship will not be taken for granted. Nigerians will then wise up and then be holding their elected officials responsible for every decision and that they make.
All right, now the NLC and even some strong supporters of the government are already threatening to organize a protest if the government doesn't take back that decision. Do you think that is a step in the right direction?
It's a conundrum because on one hand, yes, inflation has gone up, inevitably, and obviously someone who is earning 18,000 naira, his income won't add up anymore. But then, on one hand, yes, salaries should go up so that people will be able at least to ease the hardship on people. But then, on the other hand, the reality is that government cannot pay salaries. Even the federal government has been borrowing to pay salaries. So if you cannot pay salaries on 18,000 naira a month, increasing the salary to whatever 25 or 30,000, how are you going to make that up? So it's a very, very difficult situation. To be honest, I don't know. I really don't know whether the government should be increasing salary when they cannot even pay 18,000 naira. And obviously, and then increasing petrol to 145 naira. Obviously, citizens, people will want them to increase the salaries, but where are they going to get the money from to pay? It's a big problem. And I think, yes, obviously, it's a democracy. Everyone has the right to protest. They should go and protest if they want. But really, I just think it's an effort in futility because, again, on one hand, I think the Buhari presidency, this administration, the communication of this presidency has been really, really, really poor. Because if they had explained things properly to the labor union, to the NLC, and all about other unions that are looking forward to protest or go on strike, I think everyone will come to understand that this just has to happen. The communication of this presidency has been really, really poor. Hence, the reason why you see people going out to protest. Because the reality is that if you look at the reality of things, they had to hike the price. But then I just think the protest will be an effort in futility because I don't think that anything might come out of it because it's just the way it is.
All right, just hold that thought for a minute. We'll take a quick break and we'll be back shortly. Join us again.